Hey everyone, I'm Manuel Mendez. I do videos about crypto, self-development, gaming, and a bunch of other stuff that interests me. Today we're actually going to talk about one of the games that I played for the longest time in my life, which is called World of Warcraft. And we're going to tie in that on how World of Warcraft actually made me thousands of dollars, or euros in this case because we're in Europe, just because of the fact that I played it. So my story with World of Warcraft starts way back in, I believe, 2004. And at the time, I was maybe 8 or 10, I can't really remember. I was pretty young, and I used to go to this game store. Every single, give it 2 weeks or so, I would go in and I would ask what new games there are, and I would buy that game because I love games, I still do. And one of the times, TJ, which was the store clerk, he said, well, I got this really cool game. He gives me World of Warcraft. It has the orc face. I think I have the box somewhere there, but I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't even ask more stuff. Like I brought it home, I set it up, and the main problem was it needed the credit card. So damn it. And I asked my grandpa, which at the time everyone thought online shopping was a scam, so it was super hard to get that credit card, but I did it. And I started playing it, and I fell in love. I got addicted to it, and I played quite a lot. And you know, it was, give it a year, and I was already raiding with 39 other people who were way older than me. And I try to not talk into the mic as much as possible so they wouldn't see through my, you know, skinny, cracky voice that I was a 10-year-old kid raiding with other people. If you don't know what raids are, at least back then, you would have 40 people join together to beat a certain boss or bosses inside a dungeon lair in the game. And that was a lot of fun. And that's actually where I got a lot of my English from, is just playing those games in a very, very early age. Plus a lot of movies and American culture. So I started playing WoW, and WoW stuck with me for, I don't know, even the last expansion, I still played it a little bit, but not as much as before. So I think it was on the third expansion, Wrath of the Lich King, that it kind of hit my peak, and then going down, I played less and less of each expansion. What does WoW have to do with my journey as an entrepreneur? How did WoW generate me, you know, thousands of euros? Well, WoW got me into a mindset. And this mindset, way back in the Wrath of the Lich King, there was this guild. It was called the Elitist Jerks. And this is kind of where that mindset really cemented in. Elitist Jerks, they ran theory crafting. If you don't know what theory crafting is, it's pretty much crunching up a bunch of numbers to make sure that you have the best combination of armor, weapons, and equipment on your character. Elitist Jerks, the name itself is kind of like, they're elitist jerks, but this whole concept of theory crafting and boosting your character to the maximum of its potential, it's called min-maxing, because we want to make sure that the numbers we have are the absolute max we can, right? Our agility is at max, our strength is at max. We want to make sure that everything's maxed out. And I kind of really got into that concept. I made sure my character was as best as it could be. But then something shifted, and I started wondering, well, how can I do this in my life? Because if I'm a better human being, then I can be better at games. It actually started just out of an innate desire to actually be better at games. So I started looking into things such as self-development, meditation. I started seeing things as, you know, I started reading up Tony Robbins, started watching his videos, just a bunch of stuff with the primary goal of making myself better so I can compete in a better scenario, so I could take that advantage, have you know, an upside towards my competitors, to time wars are the players. Granted, WoW eventually faded out and wasn't the main focus anymore, but the self-development stuck with me, and I always kept trying to better myself. And the next stage of that was when I built my business. It actually led me further, because not only of the lessons that I had to learn, but the people that came into my circle because of that. And I'll definitely make another video on how my business led me to immense personal growth. Again, I'm only 28, but a lot of times when I speak with someone who's they're older than me, and they've been in the same company for years, a lot of times it's good to see that I have some lessons to share that they haven't necessarily learned yet. And of course, they also have some lessons to share, because it's a different life path. It doesn't mean that one is better than the other, but it just brings me so much joy that out of this one mindset that I got from a game, so much of it stemmed and so much of it actually ruled my life. In fact, I would be a completely different person if I hadn't never played World of Warcraft. So eventually that min-max mindset crept in, led me to entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship, launching my own business, allowed me to make that thousands of euros, thousands of dollars, and create a lifestyle that I'm very happy with. All stemming from one video game that at the time, when it launched, the news were saying this is addictive. The same thing that happened with Fortnite. Oh, my kid's addicted and it's gonna ruin their lives, etc. But the reality is that a lot of these games, not only do they provide an escape, but they provide a way of improving yourself if you look at it that way, rather than, you know, spending 12 hours a day playing, which I did way back. Now I can't really bring myself to do that nowadays unless the game is very, very good, but those games are kind of rare nowadays. If you take the lessons and you really take a step back and you see, what am I learning from this game? Then you might find some really cool answers that will help you in your personal journey, your personal development. That's it for now. I'm definitely gonna make a video about the personal lessons and growth with entrepreneurship. That's an amazing journey as well. But until we get to the next one, I hope you have a fantastic day, and let me know your opinions. Are you a WoW player as well? If yes, which class did you play? I'm eager to know. Have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.